Spoiler alert, if you have not watched Colin in black and white, then do not watch this video. Do not watch it. We're going to be discussing Colin in black and white, what you felt about it. Hit the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me get into it right now.
Where's that? Yeah. Come here. Hear me now. Me.
People, I had to get on this expeditiously. It's October 29th, and I already watched Colin in black and white. Let me tell you something. Woo! It was G-O-O-D. You heard me. This series was epic. To me, it was epic. And I don't know, I could be biased. You know, I could be very biased. One, maybe because I'm black. Number two, is that I love Iverson. And this episode, first episode, boy, when I saw his locker and the picture in it, I said, hold on. When I say it just brought me back, you see that? When I tell you it brought me back, I was like, yo, I got some of them. I got some of them. Y'all remember these covers? I got the plastic over it, so that's why it's shining up because of the light. He has one on his locker. I have it. I have that picture, but I just don't know where. Let me tell you something, y'all. This series was amazing. Great. Put together well, okay? And I mean, a lot of series are having different directors, and this one had different directors. It was good to see that Robert Townsend was one of the directors. He directed episode 3 and 4. We had Ava DuVernay. She and Colin Kaepernick both put this together. Executive producers, creators of this whole thing, and I got to say, hats off, salute to Colin Kaepernick for doing this whole production. Ava, girl, you just keep doing these documentary series, not even documentary, but just real life, true story type stuff, and you're doing a good job, my girl. You're doing a good job. And I got to big up Jaden Michael, who plays young Colin in this series. Oh my, if I'm looking at him, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching Kaepernick. I feel like I'm watching him. Like, what the heck? Anyways, so one thing I didn't realize about Kaepernick is that he was an athlete. He indeed was an athlete. Not only did he play football, he played baseball and basketball. I didn't know all of that until I watched this series. Man, you know what? Let's get into episode 1. Episode 1, Cornrows. So the reason why Allen Iverson was in this is because the episode 1 was called Cornrows, okay? So basically you see, and we already know the stories about our hair, natural hair, and what happens with it, and white people not understanding. So you see what Cap went through with his parents, with his mom, seeing his hair cornrowed. You see that he didn't really know how to take care of his hair, because when the girl touched up his hair was all dry, nothing in it, no product whatsoever, didn't know what to do. So she hooked him up, and his head was hurting all night because it was so tight. She didn't really know how to handle biracial. She said it's slipping and sliding. I know exactly what that is. Although I'm not biracial, my hair is more of a silky type of thing, and I understand the slipping and sliding. So, and they have to pull it tight. Yeah. Man, he was like this the whole time, you know? When you know the first time when you get your hair plait up and braid up. Well, we said plait in Jamaica. Cornrowed and all that stuff. It hurts. It hurts. And he went through that, and that whole saga and his mom finding out how to deal with it, and then him, just the dynamics of him being around, being in a store where it had a lot of black people and he felt comfortable, you know, and I like how they showed that, and he just felt, my gosh, this is good. I like this. I feel comfortable, you know, and that's basically what the whole series was about. Just his experiences being black and white, you know, Colin in black and white. I loved the title. They went into hip hop, the history of hip hop with Kool Herc. And the only thing I didn't like about that, which is my big qualm with these movies, is that they do not hire people who can speak with a Jamaican accent. They do not get people and ask them, is this man Jamaican? Because that man was not Jamaican. I can tell you, his accent was some other island. It was not Jamaican. I could tell by certain words. I wish they would just get somebody who could speak Jamaican, just in a Jamaican accent. It's really not that hard to find somebody. There's many of us, as they say, us, there's me. So if you want to put me in your film and you would like somebody who speaks in a Jamaican accent or patois, please don't look past me, Natalie Camille. The whole presentation is somewhat of a documentary TV show. It kind of feels like Wonder Years, Everybody Hates Chris with Dear White People. Yeah, something like that. That kind of a whole feel. And I like how Cap, ever so often, in and out, he's giving a history lesson on something back in the day or even recent, and there's a lot of lessons, a lot of stories, historical stories that he gives, and very, very good. Anyways, we'll touch on those, but he went into hip hop and just talking about hip hop and talking about the culture, the NBA and all that stuff, and it was just good to reminisce. The soundtrack, okay, the soundtrack for the entire series, that's all I gotta say about that. But in the beginning, he talks about, I like how, and people have said this before, that they compare football to slavery because there's a lot of picking and prodding and saying, okay, we're gonna pick that one, we're gonna pick that one, we're gonna pick that when you have them lined out basically, and you're gonna pick, prod, what's their height, what's their this, what's their weight, okay, they gotta lose this, okay, what's their best skill, blah blah blah. Basically like slavery, having the arms out, you know, looking at them, sizing them up. Yeah, same thing. He was comparing the two, and he was not being politically correct at all, and I just loved the series for that. I just love the series. You guys like my pick? Yeah, I had to do that. You know, I had to put my hair in an afro because the entire time he had his head in an afro until the end. Did you guys catch that? Until the end? I just loved every episode. But I loved at the end of episode 1 where the girl came up with the comb and she was about to part his hair, because in that episode when he had his cornrows, remember his parents told him, you know, his parents wanted to cut his hair. He cut his hair, and he said for 14 years he never braided his hair, which means he didn't cornrow his hair until we saw him in the NFL. Ain't that something? Episode 2 is about football, him being a freshman, and he wanted to make JV, which I believe, I'm in Canada, I don't think we have that stuff. Junior varsity, I'm thinking it's that. And he wanted to make junior varsity because, I mean, we have the same thing here, but we call it something else. I don't even know why we call it midget. We call it freshman midget. But nobody wants to be on the midget team. If you make it to junior, then you're like, okay, I skipped midget. I'm that good, you know? But he didn't even get that. He wanted to be QB. He didn't even get that. Why? It doesn't really say, but it is implied that the white kid got it over the black kid, which is Cap, which is an unfortunate situation. You know, and you know what, as I'm watching it, is all these circumstances that are happening to him, I'm wondering, did these really happen? Are these true conversations, because he be exposing his parents. He be exposing his parents and everybody else. And I was looking it up, and I didn't see anything to say that these stories were fictional. I didn't see anything that says that these stories are like embellished or not true or anything like that. Even in the documentary, I don't remember seeing it saying that these stories ain't true. It's supposed to be stories about his life growing up. So he was not being politically correct at all, and he left a lot of exposing with his parents and just their ignorance to what was really happening, and it caused Colin to be ignorant. He didn't know. I think I'm finished with episode 2. But I mean, in episode 2, that's just him getting into football and really trying to get to a place. His dad got him to train with Roger Theater, and I have no idea who that is, and I'm sure it's somebody who is big in football, because he had to work, and he was doing it through the summer, I believe, and then by when school came around, he was ready. So his parents were supportive, and that's one thing I see throughout, that his parents were supportive of him and stood by him with regard to sports. They didn't truly understand everything with regard to race, but when it came to sports, they were there supportive of him. The road trips now is episode 3, where he was going on road trips for his baseball, playing baseball. So, kids have tournaments and whatnot. For all you who have kids that are in sports, you're going out of town, driving here and there every weekend, every other weekend, bringing your kid to a tournament. That's what was going on, and you just see the different experiences. The one experience that he went through that I really related to was, and I relate to this even to this age, was the ice cream. You see where everybody was getting ice cream, and then his friend, I shouldn't say boy, because you're going to think it's a black kid, but it was a white kid, went to go get ice cream, seconds on ice cream, and then Cap said, okay, I'm going to go too. And then the woman was like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't get seconds. He's like, everybody else got seconds. She's like, well, no, I don't know about everybody else, but I know you already had something. You already had some. That's happened to me countless times, where they just know, because guess what? I'm the only black person, or there's only 2 of us, and they mark my face. Okay? Stuff like that. He said he didn't know about the real world and how it worked. He didn't know the rules of the real world and how it looked and how to act. And even like you saw where the hotel people treated him differently, where they singled him out, staring at him. We all get that, staring in the mall. But it's interesting to see how he evolved, and how the fact that he was never taught it, but he could feel the difference. He was being treated different. He didn't understand fully why. He didn't know where it was coming from, and to even be in that kind of a state of mind is just, I can't even imagine, myself being in that kind of a state of mind without somebody actually telling me it's because you're black. That's why. It's because your skin color is darker than theirs. That's why they're treating you differently. That's why they're looking at you like that, Your parents telling you certain things, and they don't realize that, I can't change my hair. My hair is not like yours. My hair doesn't flow. I need to do different things with my hair. My hair needs moisture. My hair, my skin, my mustache doesn't grow. Even his parents are talking about his mustache, and I'm like, it's how young black kids, how their mustache grows. It's how it is. They're coming into adolescence. You just see the ignorance of his parents with some things. They didn't realize, there was like two separate times where people were asking him where was the parents and Cap right there, and they'd ask them, you okay? Especially when they got stopped by police, when Cap was driving this time. Police officer, you guys okay? Like, look at the kid. He's a kid. And they have grown people in there. You're asking them if they're okay? Anyway, as I said, Cap comes in once in a while with all these little nuggets and history. And one thing he did point out was nerds are acceptable Negro white characters on TV. So he made reference to Urkel, to Carlton, like he showed these pictures, Carlton from Fresh Prince. I think his name is Chitty from, is it called Good People, Good Life, Good, oh gosh, it's called Good something. It's a Today TV show. Oh my gosh, The Good Place. I forget. I'm going to put the title right here. But I think his name is Chitty, I think. But he's like a nerd, and he's acceptable with white people because he ain't, down and like Fresh Prince, you know what I mean? Or like Eddie Winslow, But he put like Lisa Turtle, Saved by the Bell, like you saw all the characters, and you basically, if you grew up watching those shows, you basically know what he was getting at. They were acceptable in white society, white TV, when they wanted a black person, but they wanted them to be white. Do things the white way. The white way. I can't even believe I said that without being tongue-tied. Anyway, he did get into that, doing things the right way, white way. That was episode 4, where now it was the decision. And, as I had said before, I didn't know that he played basketball, baseball, and football. And he was really, really, really good at baseball, but he didn't have a passion for it. This man, I'm like, you could have been like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson. Dude, you could have done it all. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders both played professional football and professional baseball at the same time. You could have done that. I don't know why he didn't do that, but hey, it's his life. But what I liked about it is that you could see the passion he had, and he stuck with it. He was looking for scholarships, but he was getting all kind of scholarships from colleges for baseball, but nothing from football. And he's holding out for football. And to see that passion for something that he has, that for waiting because he has a passion for something, was commendable. I mean, I guess I can look at it now because it's the future and I know what came of it, but just to see that he kept with it, his parents were supportive, I'm sure maybe within himself he had a deadline. I mean, those offers were still going to be on the table with regards to baseball, so he could have gone that route, but he still held out because he wanted to be a quarterback in football. He wanted to be a quarterback. I don't even know. I think he was just thinking of college. I don't even know. Yeah, no, he was thinking of playing for Green Bay. Yeah, he was thinking of playing for the Packers, that's for sure. But one interesting story that he brought up in episode 4 was Romare Bearden. Romare, I believe that's his name. I didn't know about this story at all, about this Negro baseball player. And apparently this was before Jackie Robinson. So he could have been the first Jackie Robinson. And he was given a contract. And in order for him to solidify the contract, he was a very clear-skinned man. Although he was Negro, he's very, very light. And they said he would have to pass as a white person in order to play in the league. And he said, here's the contract back. I ain't signing jack. So he played in the Negro League, stayed in the Negro League, and then he followed his passion, which was art. And this was what Cap was talking about, following his passion. Yes, he could play baseball, and he was really, really good, but he wanted to be a QB. That was his passion. And I'm glad that he brought up that story of Romare Bearden, because I ain't never heard of the man, and I'm definitely gonna look him up, because that's what they told him, that he had to pass as a white person in order to play in the league. Excuse me, I'm glad he didn't do that. It makes me think if anybody else actually did do that. That's something I need to look up on my own. Yeah, and also Cap got pneumonia and pitched a no-hitter. That's the other thing I didn't say. When he was playing baseball, he was a pitcher. At that, a pitcher? Can you imagine? I don't think I've ever seen, no player has ever played football and baseball, but their baseball position was a pitcher. That, can you imagine? Pitcher and a quarterback? A pitcher and a quarterback. Those are two important positions in in those two sports, quarterback and pitcher. Can you imagine if Cap was a pitcher, professional pitcher, and a professional quarterback? What? That would be cray cray. They would have to protect his arms. Okay. And that's probably why he didn't do both sports. That's probably why. I get it. I understand now. I understand. Episode 5. I mean, this series was very cute. I laughed. I got teary-eyed in some parts. I was like, what? I was vexed. I was all kind of emotions. But episode 5 made me smile. It was so cute. Oh, it was so cute. That girl who played Crystal, such a pretty girl. I feel they put too much makeup on her. Made her up too much to look like girls today. They could have scaled back on the makeup, because even back then, girls that weren't wearing makeup like that. And I think I saw a picture of the girl online, and I don't think that she didn't have makeup on like that. But whatever, I digress. Girl, pretty smile, pretty teeth, pretty girl that played this part. And the whole dynamic was cute. It is what it is, yes. You know, they have blue, they call, you know, some girls who are dark skinned, blue, black. High school, they did that. You know, they fancy the white girls more. Black guys, I'm talking. That happened. The homecoming was coming, and he didn't have no date or nothing like that. He asked the black girl to go to homecoming. It was funny when he got to the girl's house and they had all that food. Man, I was like, that food looked good, man. That food looked good. I want to eat that food out. Trust me. But they look so cute together. But I got upset. I was like, no. I had to keep asking myself every episode, did these things really happen? Were his parents really like this? You know, no shade, but shade. You know what I mean? Did these things really happen? Because I can't believe that they did not put up the picture from his homecoming. They got the picture. He didn't give it to them. He just put it with the other male. They opened it and looked at it. They're like, well, gold is her color, and they just put it in the drawer. They didn't even put it up for display. I felt a ways about that, and I don't know if that actually happened, so I'm trying not to feel too bad about it. But so the last episode was about him waiting and holding out, not giving in, and waiting until he gets that scholarship, that call from that school. And finally, he was upset, disappointed that he didn't go to University of California. Whatever happened there, they went with somebody else, and by that time he was just very disheartened. And I get it. You know, young kid, you're trying your hardest, you know you're really good, and they're not accepting you. And we could say all those rejections, because he got a lot of rejections. All those rejections could be because he's black. It could be because he's black. Some of them may not be, but I'm thinking some of them could be because he's black. And then he finally got that one call. And what I liked about this part, when he was so excited and he's hugging the coach and all that, and he calls his mom, and the real Cap is watching it and smiling, and you can see his eyes lighting up watching this whole thing. And I got a little bit teary-eyed. Yes, I'm sensitive like that. And that was a happy time, because it was like a breakthrough. You know, he got the call from Nevada, and they were like, yeah, come on down. We want you to play for us. And I think that was the coach that had the filthy mouth. Yeah. But yeah, he got the call, and he was so excited. And I liked how they broke that fourth wall in acting. They call it, oh, it's kind of a weird way of breaking the fourth wall, because he actually walked into the scene. So he was narrating, and he walked into the scene, into his bedroom, while the young Cap was packing his stuff. And I like that he sat down and he said, "Dear Colin," and he wrote out a letter to himself, and you can hear what the letter says and all that, and you see young Cap picking up stuff, and you see all these different things that happened to him. They're just going over all the different scenes, what he learned, what he experienced, all the setbacks, all the times of racism, all the times of being belittled and talked down to, and all of that, and all the different pictures of all the different people that paved the way, whether in sports or politics or just in activism and all this, and it was just so inspiring. And then, you know, him at the end driving to where he's going to the school, and you know, he actually, Cap, I liked how they had him put the book that he wrote the letter in, he put the book in young Cap's bag, and then young Cap picked up the bag and put his football in there and then left and was driving. As he's driving, he takes the book out and he's looking at it, and you could see the penmanship of the letter, you know. And man, I'm telling you, if you're not inspired by Colin in black and white, something wrong with you, then you're white. That's what I'm saying. Then you're white. If you weren't inspired, then you're white. You're not black. You're not black. Because I don't see how any black person does not get inspired by this series. 6 episodes. You got to watch it. Every black male will identify with this. Every biracial male will identify it. Every kid that's adopted, every young black kid now coming up will relate to this series. I'm telling you, it was a great series. There's a lot of things I didn't talk about. Tell me, what's your favorite part? I can tell you my favorite part, AI. First episode, when he was talking about AI and the fact that he loved AI, I was like, yes, boy. Yes, boy. Yes, you look like Allen Iverson. Yes, you hear Cornrows. Yes, I love it. Yes, the answer. Yes, Allen Iverson. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you. But I also liked Crystal, that episode 5 with the young girl. Oh, they were so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, they were so cute. But on a whole, just the way that they put everything together with all the history lessons and all that, perfect. Y'all did a good and a fantastic job. Oops. Bravo. Standing ovation. Bravo. Can I say encore? Can you continue it? Because I know there's more stuff in the college years. Please, please. Do another one. Do another one. Jaden Michael, bravo. All the directors, bravo. Colin, thank you so much for being so transparent, you know, and to your parents. I know maybe it was hard watching yourself like this, you know. Thank you for allowing Colin to be transparent. Thank you so much for putting such a great series together. The soundtrack, the everything, the actors, everybody was, I don't know about the girl who played his mom. I don't know, why didn't you get somebody with blonde hair or color her hair? She was wearing a wig. She almost looked like you made her face even more white. I don't know. Anyways, she still played the part well. She still played the part well. Everybody played their part well. It was casted well. I ain't got no problems. Even his friends in school who are just like, you know, those friends that you like, I don't want my boys hanging around you. I don't want my son to hang around you. Yeah, them kind of boy. Even them, they did a good job. Good job, good job. So go and watch it if you haven't watched it. Why are you still watching me? Why did you listen to this? Anyways, I didn't tell you all everything. I just told you all what I felt was important. So watch it and be inspired. Please subscribe, like, and share.